everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my January 2017 makeup favorites. So I have a little bit of everything this month. I'm going to go ahead and start off with my favorite eyeshadow palettes. So for most of my cool tone looks, this is the palette that I was reaching for this month. This is the Tarte Energy Noir Clay palette. And the reason I was reaching for this palette this month is because it has a whole bunch of cool tone eyeshadows, but it also has a cool tone blush in here. So this was just a really quick and convenient palette to reach for this month. I typically don't reach for cool tone palettes, but every time I did want to wear a cool tone palette because I've been really into purples this month, this is definitely the palette that I would reach for. I really like it. The eyeshadows are really nice. I normally don't enjoy Tarte eyeshadows, but the eyeshadows are actually really nice and pigmented, easy to work with. It has a good variety of matte shades and shimmery shades, so you can create a complete look out of it. But I think my favorite thing out of this entire palette is most definitely the blush. It's very silky feeling and buttery feeling in comparison to most Tarte blushes. Most Tarte blushes are a little bit on the drying side, but this blush in here is just divine, and it's a really nice nude blush. It's a very neutral blush, so this blush would actually go really well with both warm tone and cool tone looks. And then there's a really small eyeshadow right here, but I think this was intended to be a highlighter, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I really like using this all over the lid, and I also like using it as my highlighter whenever I do a complete look out of it. So again, you get all the eyeshadows, you get a blush, and you also get a highlighter. The only thing that's missing in this palette is a bronzer, but I typically don't use a bronzer, so for me that doesn't really matter. Another eyeshadow palette that I was really loving in January, and I'm actually wearing it on my eyes today, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm sure most of you guys have seen this. This is a really popular palette here on YouTube. What I like about this is it has a lot of really warm colors, but they're really workable colors. They're really colors that you can actually create an everyday look with it. It may not look like I've used my palette at all. That is because you only need to barely touch one of these shadows, except for some of these like more neutral shimmery shadows. But for these more intense shadows, you barely need to touch it with your brush to get like extreme color payoff. But it's crazy how pigmented these eyeshadows are. So I love this palette. I think it's a really good value. I would suggest waiting for Ulta to have, you know, a 20% off coupon, because I was able to get this at 20% off with the Ulta 20% off coupon. I did purchase this from Ulta and not Sephora. Something I haven't been able to put down pretty much since I've picked it up is this Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2 palette. This is pretty much their highlighter palette, and what I love about this is that there's 4 shades, and I really like to mix these 4 shades and kind of create my own custom shade depending on what look I'm wearing that day. But these are so nice and buttery and smooth. They are a little bit powdery, but once you blend it into the skin, they are extremely smooth looking. They're not glittery or chunky. They blend into the skin really nicely. They pretty much just melt into the skin, and then when you apply some sort of finishing spray, it's just going to make everything sink into the skin really nicely. So then I have a few blushes that I have been using all month, and the first one is by Physicians Formula, and this is the Happy Booster in the color Natural. This is kind of the blush that I've been wearing almost every day. Normally I just put on a little bit of mascara, some type of lip color, and then a really, you know, natural everyday blush. And this is the color that I have been wearing pretty much every day. It's just a really nice, like, you know, peachy pinky flush of color. I'm running out of space here, but that's it right there. I really like the way it applies onto the skin. It's really nice and easy to work with. The only thing I don't like about this is that the packaging is a little chunky, but you know, know, I can work with it. I can get over the packaging because I really do like the product. Another blush I've been loving this month is from e.l.f. and this is Mellow Mauve. This is a really, really pretty color, and I've been using this a lot because, again, I've been wearing a lot of cool tone colors like purples, and I've been using this a lot with some of my cooler toned looks. And this is kind of like a nudie color, but it has a little bit of like a purple shimmer to it. I don't know if you guys can see that sheen there, but it has a really, really nice, like I said, iridescent sheen. I've really been loving this blush, and that's actually the only e.l.f. blush that I have in my collection. So the last blush I was loving in the month of January is this blush by Estee Lauder. It's the Pure Color blush in the color Rebel Rose, and this is a satin finish blush. I really, really love this blush. It has more of like kind of like a mauve undertone to it. It's really, really pretty. Yeah, I'd say like a rosy, like mauve color. This has been a really nice blush that I like to wear whenever I wear the Modern Renaissance palette. It's actually the blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I don't know, perhaps like my lights are washing it out, but I really, really like this blush. And again, it's been pairing really nicely with the Modern Renaissance palette, which I've worn several times throughout the month of January. So then the last four things I have here are all lip products. So I'm actually going to start with the lip product that's a little bit different from all the other ones. So this very first one is from Maybelline, and I don't know what collection this is from. This is like the navy blue container. This is, I'm thinking, from their Bolds collection. I know this came out in the fall or winter of last year. This is number 760 in Gone Greige. And I really, really like the color of this lipstick. It is kind of like a greige color. It's like a brownie greige color. I've worn this in several videos already, and I really, really do like this lipstick. I think it's on trend with that whole brownie lip. The formula of these lipsticks are so creamy, but they're also matte, but they're not drying. So I really, really like these. I guess this is, like I said, this is part of the Bolds collection. It's matte, but it doesn't say matte on there. I really, really like this lipstick. The next lipstick I want to talk about is from Lorac. This is in the color Goddess. I love all of these. I love this entire line of lipsticks because they're very, very creamy and very, very pigmented. This is what the color Goddess looks like. It's this really pretty, like purpley mauve color, and that's just one swipe right there. I love this color, and I also have the Goddess lip gloss. So what I like to do is I'll apply this this color, and then I'll use my Goddess lip gloss to kind of touch up throughout the day if I need to touch up, which honestly, this color stays on my lips for a very, very long time. Obviously, depending on what I eat, I may have to like fully reapply, but this color is absolutely beautiful. And I have a very similar color. This is actually like a newer item. This is the Lorac Pro liquid lipstick. I think these only launched about a month ago, and this is in the color Soft Mauve. And like I said, it's a very, very similar color to this. It's like a purpley mauve color, but I think it has a little bit more pink. This is actually the color that I'm wearing on my lips today. And I have been wearing this lipstick since 7 o'clock this morning, and it is now 5:30. So I haven't reapplied or retouched this lipstick at all, and it is still going strong. I really, really like this color. I really, really like the formulation of this. This is a liquid lipstick, and it'll completely dry down matte. It's completely transfer proof. It is a little drying, but not like, it's not as drying as like the Kat Von D lipsticks, but they're almost as comfortable as the Smashbox like Always On liquid lipsticks. Almost as comfortable. I'd say those are a little bit more comfortable, but they're on the same lines of comfort, around the same area of comfort as that lipstick. So I'm thinking about picking up a few colors. This is the only color that I have, and I absolutely love it. I've worn this color so many times in January. I really, really do love it. And then the last one I have here is from Too Faced, and this is the Melted Liquified Long-Wearing Lipstick in the color Melted Fig. I think I wore this in a video recently as well. It has a very similar undertone to all of the lipsticks that I've showed you guys, but it's a lot darker. So that's the color right there. So it definitely has a lot more plummy and purple notes to it, but I just really, really like the formulation of these. I know there's dupes out there for this lipstick, but what I like about these is that they kind of set a little bit. So I like to use these with a lip liner, and it helps the longevity of the lipstick. But again, they set a little bit, so they tend to last a little bit longer, and they also kind of stain the lips. So I can get away with just applying a clear gloss as a touch-up and kind of just rubbing my lips together, and it's going to revive the color again. I really, really like these. I really like the formulation of them, and I really like the wear time of them. So that's it. Those are all of my January makeup favorites or beauty favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do. Please don't forget to subscribe. I am currently posting 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.